the second movie for Access Chapter 2, Pause and Practice number 2. We left off, we had just done a record level validation. Now we're going to go back to design and continue with our validating. I'm going to escape out of here. I'm going to change these to what they really should be. 160, 640, and 1920. All right. So 160, 640, 1920. Now I don't have a pencil. It's saved because I moved off of it. I'm going to go back to the design view. And we want to come to category. And what we're going to do here is we want to put in a lookup wizard for category, because we have specific categories that all of our equipment falls into. We want to make sure that there's no typos or that people make their own categories. So in order to do that, we could do a lookup wizard to make this a lookup field. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the data type temporarily from short text to lookup wizard, but it's really still a short text data type. What this wizard does really is, if you look down here, there are general and lookup properties. Once we run through this wizard and we come back here, you're going to see all of the parameters for the lookup are created, and it's so much easier than doing it manually. So we're going to click on this and we're going to say lookup wizard. So now we get to do we have to make a choice. Is the information that we're referencing in another table, or are there values that you're just going to type in? And if it's a short list, you can just type the values in if it's not automatically populated somewhere else. And that's what we're going to do, because there's just like, I don't know, five of these. And they don't change a lot. If they changed a lot, you'd want to put them in their own table. We're going to go ahead and do next. On this, we're just going to click in here and start typing. So we're going to do generators, and then I'm going to do a down arrow. Once again, look at that pencil. That tells me it's not been written to the file yet. So generators, hand tools, down arrow, plumbing. Got my hands on the wrong keys there. Plumbing, down arrow, sawing, comma, cutting, and grinding, down arrow, tractors, down arrow. So we have generators, hand tools, plumbing, sawing, cutting, and grinding. And I'm going to go to the edge here, double click, and it's going to make this column wide enough so I can see all of my data. I just went right here, double clicked. We're going to do next. On here, what do we want the lookup column to? We're okay here, but we want to limit it to lists. So this is what this field means. If I leave it unchecked, the drop downs will happen, but a person could type their own category. I don't want that. I want them to pick one of the categories that I have listed, right? So by checking this, it prohibits somebody from entering their own new category. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. Just do a quick save on that, and then let's do date purchased. Come down to the properties. What we want to do is an input mask. So an input mask property shows when a user's entering data, it shows them some help along the way. So like the format in which the data needs to be entered. If there's characters like a hyphen or a slash, you can put those in and then the person doesn't need to enter them every time. So we're gonna build this input mask. So we're going to go to the right where the ellipses are, the box with the 3 dots. It's going to go into build, and we want it to be a medium date. So this is, which I hate this format where you do numbers and then you type in the month in letters and then back to numbers. Don't like it. I like this one much better. But this is how we're doing it, medium date. So we're going to do next. It puts in the mask. These are the codes that are used to build the mask. And we're okay. It's going to use a placeholder of an underline, which is good. That's what we want. So we're going to go ahead and do next and finish. So that code is going to be put in the input mask. Okay. We have one last thing, and that is for daily rental, we're going to say required. Let's see, no, we're going to start up here. Product name. We're going to make everything except comments is going to be required. So here's the trick with that. I'm on product name. You come down here with required. It says, no, you don't really need to double click on it, and it changes it. Category, required, double click. Daily rental, required, double click. Weekly rental, required, double click. Monthly rental, required, double click. Date purchased, required, double click. So the only one that we didn't do that to is comments. I'm going to go ahead and save. Yes, what's it? Wait. Existing data process. We're going to say no here. Okay. We're going to switch to datasheet view, and we're going to put in a bunch of data. So I'm going to put a couple in. I'm not going to sit here on the whole movie and have you watch me type, but I did want to show you here on category. Look, the drop down. That's that lookup wizard that we did, and when we click the down arrow, all we have to do is pick that, right? So we've already put the numbers in. Date purchased, we have to type it, and look, when we start typing, it says 09, and then there's a hyphen, and see the underlines, that's the character we use. It tells us what we're going to do. We're going to do September 14, tab, okay? And generators, I can type a G, and it's going to go to generator. 30, 120, 360, 15, December 14. Let's do one more. Tractor, I did a T, 225, 900, 270, 08, May R, and then 15. All right, you getting the idea? So go through and the table is on page 109. And that's the end of this pause and practice. So make sure that you put all this data in, and we're good. And I'll pick the next movie up with the next pause and practice. All right, guys, thank you.